Number 1, 2, and 3. This is chapter 3, review number 3. It's asking if this is an even function, an odd function, or neither. You just look at the exponents. Exponents are even, so that would be an even function. Look at number 2. You got an odd exponent and an even exponent, so that one is neither. N-E-I-T-H-E-R. And number 3, the exponents are odd, that would be an odd function. All right, we should know by now that if you have an x squared for your parent graph, that is going to be a parabola right in the middle. And sometimes we have y equals absolute value of x, that is a v right in the middle when you have that one. I can't remember which one you're going to have on the test. All right, so now let's do number 4. Start on the end. We got an up 3 and a right 2. Up 3, right 2. I got a flip because I got a negative. And then I got a 4. Remember, if it's a fraction compresses it, makes it fatter. If it is an integer, it's not a fraction, it stretches it, makes it skinny. So I got a flip and a stretch. Up 3, right 2, flip, and a stretch. I'm going to let you guys do number 5. I'll do number 6 with you. All right, 6 sometimes gives you trouble. I didn't put my y equals. Let's put the y equals. All right, 6 is missing the parentheses. And parentheses is where we find out if it's going right or left. So I get to skip that part on this one. I got an up 1. I got a flip. And since my number, again, is not a fraction in front of it, it's going to be a stretch. So up 1, flip it, and stretch it. I didn't have to go right or left on that. Number 5, if you look, will be a compression. It will get fat because it's got a fraction in front. All right, number 7 and 8, they want you to find the inverse of the function. We started on this the last day you came last week. I'm giving you the 3 steps on the right side of the page to find the inverse. Okay. First step says replace f of x with y, so you just write that as y equals x to the 4th plus 4. Second step, they want you to switch the x and y. So instead of x to the 4th plus 4, it'd be y to the 4th plus 4. And last, we got to solve for y. So, if we want to get the y by itself, I move the plus 4 over. That'll make it x minus 4. Now, if that was a y squared, I would do a square root. All right, but this is a y to the 4th, so I will have to do a 4th root of x minus 4. And don't forget your negative 1 right here is just your symbol for inverse. Make sure you include that on the answer. 8, I got y equals x plus 5 over 2. Got to switch them. So that'll be y plus 5 over 2. Alright. Divide by 2 here, so when I move it, I got to multiply by 2. That'll give me 2x. And then just move the plus 5 over. That'll be a minus 5. So basically, you're just doing the inverse operation, the opposite you can think of, to find the inverse. 9 is where you want to factor out the top. So why don't you pause the video, see if you can factor out the top by yourself. It's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 1. Remember, they have to multiply to equal the last number and add up to equal the middle number. These cancel out. All I've got left is x plus 3. Find the whole, the one that you marked out, which is the x minus 1, move it over, and that'll be positive 1. So my whole is at positive 1. And don't forget, erase that dot in there. There you go. You're going to have 2 of those. Number 12 is just like number 9, so you should be able to do 12 by yourself. VA and the HA, remember the VA is the same on every problem. You just take the bottom and set it equal to 0. So that's -1. Put dotted line at -1 with a color. All right, for the HA, if you have an X on both sides of the fraction, you just divide. So 3 divided by 1 is 3. Sometimes you'll have this. Instead of 3x on top, it might just be 3. And in that case, if there's not an x on top of the fraction, that was just y equals 0. Okay? Which is probably what you'll see on number 11. It is. So I'll just let y'all do 11 by yourself. So right here, I need a dotted line at 3 going across. All right, remember to plug in your 4 points. You pick 2 numbers on the right side of the vertical line, 2 numbers on the left. 0 and 1, -2 and -3. Alright, so first answer is 0. If you plug a 1 in here, you get 3 over 2, which is 1.5. If you plug -2 in there, you get -6 over -1, which is 6. If you plug -3 right here, you get -9 over -2, which is 4.5. Remember, make your fractions into decimals. 0, 0, there's a curve there, -2 up 6, -3 up 4.5, there's a curve there. And remember, number 11 is just like number 10, with the exception of the HA, it's just going to be 0, so you guys can do that one. And we've already done 12, we've done one like 12 when we did number 9, so you should be good there. All right, 13 should be one of the easier problems on the test. They just want you to graph it. So we just graph that by rise over run. I go to -6 for my y-intercept. My slope is up 2 over 1. All right, now you still got to look and see about, is it shaded up or down, or dotted or solid line. So if it doesn't have an inequality, if it's just an equals, just draw your line, you don't have to shade. All right, 14 is probably going to have an inequality. Yeah, it's got 2 of them. All right, so we should be good on 13. Let's go to 14. This one, go to -2, up 1 over 3 is my rise over run. Dotted line, shade below. Less than, remember, shade below if it's less than, shade above if it's greater than. On the blue one, go to 4 on the x-axis, put a dot. It's going to be vertical line that is dotted and you shade in the direction of the arrow. Now, when you look at your two inequalities and where they overlap each other, that's going to be the places you shade completely. So we're going to go right through here. Let's go to 15. We know this one's going to be a V because it's absolute value, but what I've had y'all do the last couple of days, if we want to know exactly where it is, we're going to plug in point 0, 1, -1, 2, and -2. We're always going to plug in these 5 just because they're the lowest integers we can think of. So when you plug in 0 right here, you get -6. 1 plus 3 is 4, that's -8. -4, 2 plus 3 is 5, that'd be -10. I don't know if this is going to make a V. We may have to plug in more points. Let's check. 0, -6. 1, -8. -1, -4. 2, -10. -2, -2. Let's keep going this way and we'll eventually find out where. Let's plug in -3. That'll give you 0, and let's plug in -4. -4 is -1, that'd be 2. Let's try those. -3 up 0, -4 up 2. Wow. Still not working out, is it? Let's keep going. Plug in. I'm doing something wrong. I plug in -4. It's -1. -1 is a +1 times that. Yeah, okay. So -4 is -2. There we go. All right, so now we can check dotted line are solid. If it's solid, and shade down. So we're going to shade less than, just everything below the lines. Okay. 16, same thing, just plug in some points. Let's do 17. All right, it does matter the points that you plug in on this one. We normally plug in 0, 1 and -1, 2 and -2. But on this one, you don't want to plug in 0. Why? Because 0 minus 3 would give you the square root of -3, and that's an imaginary number. That's not even a perfect square. So let's start off by plugging in 3. Now, why am I plugging in 3? Because I can look at it. 3 minus 3 gives you 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. That's a good one to start with. I'm going to plug in 7. Why am I plugging in 7? Because 7 minus 3 gives me 4. And I know the square root of 4 is 2. So I get a +2 and a -2. Now why did I write them both down? Because the plus and minus. The plus means one answer is +2, the minus, the other answer is -2. Right, let's graph it. I got 3, 0, over 7 up 2, over 7 down 2. Sideways parabola. Graph the red one first. That's y equals 1/2 x minus 2. So I start at -2, and my rise over run is up 1 over 2. All right, now, they want you to go to 2 with an open circle. There we go. Got a greater than sign that's pointing right, so I put a line going right, and I erase everything on the left. All right, that's how you do the first one. Green one, y equals -1. circle at 2. There's already an open circle at 2. Less than is pointing left, so my line has to go left from the circle. Remember, this is called a piecewise function where we only show a piece of the graph, not the whole line. Alright, and then the last one is y equals negative 2x plus 3, so we go 3, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and again, we only show what's left.